A Day with Caleb, and today have my Mickey Runaway Railway opening day shirt. Annual pass holder exclusive. Yeah. So today we are going to talk about why I let my annual pass to Walt Disney World expire. And if you're not a theme park person, maybe this video is not for you, but we're just going to highlight the reasons why I'm not having my AP anymore. And full disclosure, I'm not leaving Disney entirely as far as the parks go, but just wanted to kind of get this video out there. Some people have been asking, some friends locally, some friends of the channel, so kind of just putting this video out there as kind of a explanation so I don't have to kind of keep explaining to everybody. But some context first. You maybe have seen my first trip to Walt Disney World in 1993. We were 5 years old. It was life-changing trip. It was free because our aunt worked there. So that was 1993. We had been to Six Flags over Georgia and a few like carnival circus type thing, but Disney was kind of our first big like theme park to go to, and it was great, especially in the 90s. Maybe you can go see my video on that. 1993 to 2020, I compare what has changed and what hasn't. So then 2002, or 2000, 2001, and 2002, I think that 3 year span, we went to Disney and we went to Universal and Islands. Our parents would do the timeshare interview where you would get free tickets, and our other aunt worked for Disney Cruise Lines, so we could get into Disney. So then a big gap took place up until 2015. Some things personally had changed, and I needed a change. And our friend had just moved near Orlando. A couple of friends actually, but our first trip 2015. Then 2016 we kind of ramped up and would go to the parks often. And then 2017 we started doing annual passes because we would do like the 10-day pass where it was like $30 a day, which is, if you think about today's prices, that was crazy prices back then. So $300 basically for 10 days. You could not do that in today's economy. So we started our annual pass 2017. Met some good friends along the way. Dave, Retro Rest Stop, a couple others, and our cousin works for Disney. He started around that time, but then we were fully immersed in the Disney bubble. We were drinking the Kool-Aid. We had APs. We would do the extra magic hours. We would do the extra things. We would go to the tours. We would stay on Disney property. We were just fully, we would not leave the bubble for anything. Until 2018, things begin to change a little bit. We would, our cousin would want to go branch out and do other things. So we would go to Universal. We would go to see, Busch Gardens, SeaWorld, those type of places. And then 2019, we stopped going to resorts exclusively. We would get other hotels, Hampton and other things. We worked for Hampton for a little bit so we could get discounts and stuff, but it kind of changed a little bit when Disney started doing the charging each night for parking. And I'm not saying Disney is the only one that does this. Universal does it. All the resorts, as far as the top tier, do it. The difference is Disney, back then, 2019, prices have probably gone up, but 160 to 240 range. We were the moderate hotels, the cheaper end hotels. But think about, you were spending 160, at least 180 a night, and then you had to, on top of that, pay an extra 15. If you go to Endless Summer, I would get Endless Summer later on, 2022, 2023, $80. So 15 on top of 89, $90 is a big difference from 160. And then 2020, we were there the week before the park shut down, and so we stayed at a resort with Dave. And then months later, after everything, kind of settled, stuff started moving back. People were, I think the park had just opened. I got an email that resort stay, I was being charged for parking, and they slowly implemented parking. It wasn't like one day it changed. It slowly changed throughout the resorts over time. So the end of 2019, I think they announced it, and then they slowly implemented it. But when I checked out that on that resort stay, the guy told me that I would not be charged for parking. And then I got an email. They said they sent 2 letters of final notice that I needed to pay this parking charge. So I called them. The lady, usually Disney was known for, great customer service. I never had issues with really anything Disney related, except a thing at Disneyland that happened. But so she was very rude, very demeaning, and I kept telling her that this guy who checked me out said I didn't owe anything, and she said that I did owe something, and it just kind of left a bad taste in my mouth, and that kind of was a turning point as far as like, okay, I you hear the customer is always right. Like, I had a printed off receipt showing a zero balance, and now she's telling me that there was a balance. But I don't want to make this a rant. I just kind of want to list off reasons. That was the first reason. The second reason, kind of around that time frame, the Streetmosphere whether that's citizens of Hollywood, you know, walk around characters, what have you, they started cutting back on all of that. And that was half the charm of the park, going through, interacting with the citizens of Hollywood, interacting with the other people out and about. So, that kind of made it kind of popped the bubble a little bit. And then we started going to Universal more and more, uh, especially with the park reservations. I don't know a single person that loves the park reservations. They are not good. It kind of, before you could wake up and you're going to Magic, or let's say you're going to Animal Kingdom, and you're like, you know what? Let's go to Epcot instead. You didn't have that spontaneity. You couldn't be fluid with your interactions. You had to go to one park until two at least, and then you could go other places. The Fast Pass they kind of went away with, and now it's a pay to play kind of thing. Don't even get me started on the Dash Pass. That is a whole thing. Then the maintenance, that has been something the last few years. Uh, Broken concrete, the fountain at Morocco, they completely gutted and did something. I don't want to get into it, but I started to notice probably about 2 years when they started cutting maintenance and laying off jobs and kind of cutting back because they bought Fox for 70-ish billion, 72 billion. So basically the parks are the only thing profitable the past 2 or 3 years, but they don't get anything back into them. So maintenance, upkeep on rides, the animatronics, they kind of let go. There's several things that they've kind of, uh, when Disney used to be up here top tier, now it's kind of going down. Then you could talk about the new Spider-Man attraction at Avengers Campus at DCA. They compare that to a Six Flags attraction. Uh, and then, them letting go of great Imagineers. I'm not sure about Rhodey if he just left or if they pushed him out, but they pushed out a lot of great Imagineers who are now, some of them at Epic Universe, and that's why that is being so hyped. I'm so excited for it. Uh, so those were kind of the main reasons, and then you could get into the recent stuff with Tiana. uh, from the get-go was not right. They didn't thoroughly test it, and you could get into how the story is not well and how it's not really a good attraction. Or you could talk about the recent announcement of closing Rivers of America. This has, at time of recording, has not been confirmed, but these are the rumors. And Rivers of America, I would stand on that bridge and just kind of soak in the Rivers of America. I would sit there 15, 20 minutes just kind of soaking it up, or go across to Tom Sawyer's Island and just kind of walk around, relax. not everything has to be extreme or exciting or for kids. Some stuff, big kids want to experience some stuff, and that was Rivers of America. So 2 years ago, stopped Disney Plus just because the prices were being raised, and now Disney AP, we're kind of getting priced out, along with the other reasons. Now, I'm not saying we won't ever go back to Disney. We will, I'm sure, one day, but at least for the next year and a half, we will not. So I hope that helped explain some lingering questions. If if you don't care, that's fair. Uh, but for those that wanted to know, that's kind of some of the reasons. There's probably many others, but I don't want to make this a 30-minute video. So like, subscribe, share with a movie lover. Until next time, uh, go to Epic Universe and keep collecting.